Hello everyone, this is Spin, and welcome back to another episode of my Bloody Pulp Fiction walkthrough series. We'll be playing through the secret level of the second episode, this one being titled Hellen Back. So let's begin. So first off, we got a gargoyle and some civilians over here. And this secret cultist base is locked off. So before we go in there, let's go down here into the water. And we got a secret, which is some basic armor, which we don't need. But it's there if you're doing a pitchfork start, or if you're low on it. So interact with the shovel here to go down to the entrance of the secret cultist base. Another underworld of Cabal activity. So in here, we have some zombies. Crack over here to get us to the next area. We'll be greeted by some spiders and cultists. Shoot that TNT barrel up there to blow up the Cabal. Try to dispatch of the... Oh yeah, there's cultists over there and they'll fall to their deaths, which is hilarious. So let's go on up the stairs where those cultists were guarding. Some basic armor over there. Alright, that's a bloated butcher. We'll have a cultist to our left and right. Take them out whichever way you can. I like to take care of the spiders beforehand. We got a fanatic and a phantasm. And the phantasm was guarding some Tommy gun ammunition, which we have plenty of. Now here's a trap. Get zombies and the door closes behind us, so we'll be trapped. But they're no threat if you can close the distance and quickly kill them. So now that this area's been cleared, let's move on to the next one. 2 more zombies each side. Our second secret is over here, but I'll get to it in a second. Get some rat shat out on these rats. Pray to the fallen prince. Now, on both sides we have 2 statues. One a Chiog from the original episode of Blood. And then we have another gargoyle, Anak. Now it says, pray to the fallen prince. It's this one. But before we interact with it, we gotta take care of the spiders. Now I'm gonna go back to that second secret. We get an invisibility power-up. Interact with the Chiog statue and get going. It's really not the most useful invisibility power-up. It's only useful against these 3 cultists and the zombies that spawn over here. Not spawn, but unveil themselves in this little closet area. And of course that gargoyle that was guarding the corridor. Third secret's over here with the life leech, which we really don't need because it's not that useful. Get ready for some more zombies, and don't take damage like I did. Lone cultist, easy to snipe. That's why I'm called Spin the Sniper. No crosshair needed. So moving forward, we go into this room. This pretty mystical room. But be careful. We have a shotgun cultist, and once he's dealt with, you got all the 3 phantasms. Oh, don't get cornered. And they usually don't spawn that early. And they don't normally hang in the air for this long either. Come on, you're phantasms, not lost souls. Come on. I'll just go to the next one. And he was dead. This is a very stubborn phantasm. Finally, God. Okay, so that phantasm is done. We got another secret in here. Interact with the face. 3 zombies and some armor that we need just in time after that brutal encounter. I mean, it wasn't brutal, I just got jumped early. So now we make the descent. Be very careful. One mistake and you'll fall to the ground, go splat, and it's over. And that moon key is necessary because if you don't grab the moon key, you practically soft lock yourself through this level, which means you have to go through it again. Which that sucks. So get the voodoo doll out and pick off the fanatics. And that fanatic was using the prop as cover. Oh yeah, this door, you have to wait for you gotta wait for the entire thing to be closed to do this. Alright, hit scanner first, now we'll go for the zombies. Let's kill all the zombies first. I gotta get them all bunched up. Come on now. So now we got our Chiok statues and plus these other 2 statues of gargoyles. And we have a life essence and a life seed. But once we grab the life seed, get ready. A bunch of gargoyles spawn in the room. This is where the napalm launcher comes in handy. And speaking of which, there's one up here. Be focused, wait for the perfect time to get your shot off on the gargoyles, because you definitely don't want to be blowing yourself up with the splash damage. And once you thin them out, just get the flare pistol and start shooting away. Pitchfork combo. And now they're fried. And amidst all the chaos, this lone cultist over here is so clueless. That's the end of his life. So over here, we got some ammunitions, but be careful. What? Okay, I guess normally when you walk through there, the trap activates and you're supposed to stay in the water, but I don't know how I avoided it altogether. But yeah. But if you were in the trap and it activates, you just get in the water and stay down and wait till it's over. So yeah, that's a bit of an oddity. So we pull down this skull chain. I'll just use the flares and pitchfork combo for this gargoyle. He was guarding some shotgun shells. Now here we have a hellhound that's caged up, but he could still shoot flames at you. Alright, he's gone. Get that napalm launcher ready for that one gargoyle, because you do not want to be dealing with gargoyles in close proximity. Barbecue another bloated butcher, as per usual. There's no place like home. Now let's open this right side over here. And here we have some cultists. More cultists. Little cabin here. Our next secret's gonna be here As you can see, there's a fourth room, but we cannot access it from outside. There's cracks where these robes are, so let's grab the TNT and blow it up. Blow up a cultist or two in the process. We get some ammunition and another life leech. And a voodoo doll, too. And we now have the skull key, so let's go into the skull door. Deal with that cultist in training. I singled him out because, of course, there's that cultist on the left there. We got a Tesla cannon cultist and a fire key. Now here we have a power room here. Shoot this TNT barrel to open the door. We're in the dam control room, but
It's stuck.
guess I gotta get wet to check the gate. So we need to go underwater. Let's do some maintenance. So let's jump in the water. 2 gill beasts wait for us. They are no threat. Rise up for some oxygen. Those 2 gill beasts were guarding some Tommy gun ammo and life leech ammo. I really don't need either. And there is an aerosol spray, so let's get the napalm launcher and shoot at this debris. So what that just did is basically clear out the dam controls, so now we can activate the switch. Alright. So that's fixed, and we can see the results when we go underwater. As you can see, the dam control is now open. So let's continue on. We have the fire key, so let's go. Let's backtrack and continue on. Alright. Carefully descent. Jump down here. Be met with a clueless gill beast. And there's a ladder up there if you need to go up. Back to where the moon door was. So over here, we start off with a cultist, 2 cultists, and some zombies. And our final secret over here is a pretty obvious one. Crack on the wall, which reveals some armor, which we don't need. Not right now. So let's go over here. Now there's some cultists over there. I can actually pick them off through this grate. Get rid of them early. Now we flip the switches to get to the lift, activate the lift power. Which we're gonna need to exit the level. Now down here are some bone eels. Now normally I wouldn't do, it's like, for some reason the bone eels count towards the kill count. I mean, you don't have to do it, I'm just doing that for fun. It's just nice to take some steam out. Fry some meal. So now that the lift has been activated, let's use it and rise up on out of here. And we are met with 2 zombies and a bloated butcher. Okay. But of course, we got a bunch of gargoyles that spawned in. So let's draw them out, put that napalm launcher to use. They weren't gonna end the level on such an anticlimactic note. And look at that, we're back at the starting area. And here's our exit. We've pretty much cleared out this level, so let's get going. So that's Hellen Back. It's a pretty neat level for what it is. It's basically like a more condensed version of Far Below from episode 1 of Bloody Pulp Fiction. It's not that long. It's a pretty decent challenge for what it is. Probably the toughest part would have to be the Phantasm room early on, where the key is, of course. Then you got the platforming challenge, where you have to be very precise and make sure you did not skip out on the moon key, because if you did, you made a big mistake. So let's continue on. We actually got a transition level coming forward. The Return. So over here we have we return back to the fort. Of course, we got a bloated butcher trying to fire away at us. And some cultists. Where are the cultists? That was way too aggressive for my liking. And would you look at that? There's the fort. It's on fire from our chaos that we've unleashed onto it. So let's hop on this boat and get the hell out of here. So yes, that's the levels. Hellen Back and the Return. And as touching back on the previous episode, not the previous episode, but the last level I just played before the transition level, it's like very difficult level for what it is. And so yes, that is the Return and Hellen Back, the secret level, the transition level of Bloody Pulp Fiction. Like I mentioned before, Hellen Back is a pretty tough level, even though it is very short, doesn't have a lot of secrets. Of course, I guess the secret counter was broke or something, because I clearly got all 6 of those secrets, but I guess one of them just didn't get tagged or whatever, which is fine. Sometimes it wasn't the first time this had happened. Now, as for transition level, it's pretty self-explanatory, just a means to get back and on your feet on to the next level. So that's pretty much it for it over there. And that factor. So, as always, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.